You got a guy, he goes to the back of the trailer to open the doors. He forgets to apply the brakes. Truck and trailer rolls. Luckily, he didn't kill anybody. The only thing he did was the tractor, the cab went into the little pond, you know.
Kaly, has that ever happened to you?
Hey guys, this is Kaly. We're gonna talk about dumb things truck drivers do on the road every single day. This video is not to insult people, maybe some, but to educate people. And some of those things we can all relate as truck drivers because we see them every single day. Okay, we're gonna start with number one, which is my favorite, elephant races, as I call them. Two large trucks going about the same speed limit next to one another. One guy may go 65.8 and the other guy may go 65.9. And you know, it's gonna take like freaking 20 minutes to pass one another because one guy doesn't wanna back off, so the other guy doesn't wanna get behind. So elephant races, two large machines moving the same speed limit, and then you get road rage people behind them. So please don't do that. Please, you know, if your truck goes about the same speed as the other truck, just get behind them. There's no point of trying to pass somebody that takes 20 minutes, you know, when as soon as you slow down, they're gonna catch up with you and then you're gonna be doing the same elephant races for the next 2 hours. Tailgating, your truck can only go 65 miles an hour, some cases maybe 68 or 70. If you get behind somebody and you can't pass them, you don't need to tailgate. The guy can go any faster than you. So what's the point? You know, all you're doing is you're asking for the other guy to hit the brakes and you're gonna be riding his ass. So slow the F down a little bit. You know, you're not gonna get any further by tailgating him. You're not gonna get any faster. So what is the whole point? Slow down, back off, enjoy the ride. It's not a race. You're getting paid to do a job, so might as well enjoy it. People tailgate because they have no patience. If it takes 10 minutes more of your day to get there, so be it. But people, they want to be in a hurry, so 10 minutes is like 10 hours for them. The other thing we're gonna talk about, and I've seen that, drivers going the wrong way. Very simple reason. They can't read English. There's a sign that says one way. Either you're under the influence of stupidity or you just don't know how to read English. Worst one I seen, I think, was in Montreal. He wasn't paying attention and then the CB started chattering, you know. The people on the chatter, they were Quebec people, they started roasting him with their French accent. So when it says one way, please do not enter that way because then you're gonna have people honking at you. You see people doing that in the major cities when they're lost, when they have no idea where they're going because they're lost and they don't have a backup plan. Or sometimes the stupid GPS will tell you to go there and the GPS, it hasn't been updated, or sometimes the city will change the one-ways, you know, at a certain times. Toronto is known for that. You know, downtown Toronto, there's a seasonal signs that says, you know, you can't make left turns at a certain times, and that becomes one way. Hey guys, my name is Kaly. When I started driving trucks, I didn't have any mentors. Making these videos, you know, we can kind of unite and do something right for a change instead of everybody being a lone wolf out there. So hopefully you guys can hit me back, and I appreciate it. The next one we're going to talk about is city deliveries. And when I was a city driver for 4 years, I saw a lot of stupidity, like a lot. You know, from people trying to make a right turn, like on St. Clair, and they can't even make a right turn because they're too stupid, not realizing, oh, my truck and trailer is too long to make a right turn because I don't know how to drive. Oh, you get guys that hit a fire hydrant with their trailer because they don't know how to back. So they hit a fire hydrant, then suddenly they pick it up and they try to move it and pretend nothing happens. And the crazy part is they're picking up a load from the same place they hit the fire hydrant, and then they try to deny it. I saw that happen, the company that I used to work for. The other ones is hitting poles. They don't watch their trailers, so they're making a right turn, the guy takes the whole freaking pole. And I've seen that happen when I used to live in Mississippi. I was at home, my neighbor walks across the street and he said, hey, one of your buddies did something. I was like, what? Go check it out. It's on Main Street. You know, I used to live in a small town, so I drive to Main Street and I see a Covenant driver, Covenant Transportation, was making a right turn, put the trailer in the ditch, took the electrical pole with them. When it comes to city, you really gotta use common sense. You know, if you don't feel comfortable making a right turn, don't do it. Don't put yourself in a situation that you can't get out and they make it worse. So city driving is actually, I would say, the most difficult for a lot of long-haul truck drivers because they don't do city deliveries every single day unless you got some sort of dedicated account and you come back to the same city every single time. You know, when it comes to city driving, you know, you gotta use your brain, man. You gotta think before you do something. Don't put yourself in a situation you can't get out. The next one we're gonna talk about is dumb as I wanna call it as shippers. The stuff is dumb. like stupid. And we all make stupid mistakes, but some of them are more stupid than others. One thing is when you're at the shipper and you're about to back in, you got yourself a line. Before you get your doors open, please make sure you apply the tractor valve brake on, the parking brake. Usually it's a yellow knob and you apply it, don't release it. Release means you can drive. Applying the brakes means you can't drive. So you got a guy, he goes to the back of the trailer to open the doors, he forgets to apply the brakes, truck and trailer rolls. Luckily, he didn't kill anybody. The only thing he did was the tractor, the cab went into the little pond. The guy wasn't paying attention. So that's one thing, take your time, you don't be in a rush. Make sure you have your brakes on,
Kaly, has that ever happened to you?
If you're gonna back, take your time, there's no rush. However, if it takes you 45 minutes to back into a dock, then you got some serious parking skills that you need to work on. Now, if you're holding refrigeration, like I do, your backing skills are the most important. If you don't know how to back, you shouldn't be holding refrigeration. Another thing when it comes to backing, people don't get out and look. Why? Because they're embarrassed or they feel, I don't know, pride, whatever BS they feel like. You gotta move and you gotta back it in, but at the same time, you don't wanna break anything. So before you move and you back, get out and look. All these things, people should teach you those things. If you need help, talk to the other guy that is parked next to you before you back in and say, hey, if I get too close to you, can you just blow the horn? I don't want to hit you. I don't want to, take you down your mirrors. Be a little polite. Again, back in the day, Walmart, when the old man used to run Walmart, he passed away, but when he was alive, truck drivers were welcome. Fast forward 30, 40 years, 2020 or 2010, whatever. A lot of Walmarts don't want truck drivers. They don't want trucks unless you're delivering. Some are still open to the idea that they want trucks. Some don't. And the ones that don't is because they've been burned out by truck drivers. How? They spend the night, they leave in the morning, and then suddenly the parking lot looks like a bathroom. Looks like a toilet. Drivers throw their trash, in the parking lot in the little cart. They will leave piss bottles. Walmart parking lot is not a bathroom. Walmart parking lot is a parking lot for people to park their cars so they can do their shopping. If you see a family in a minivan, grandpa and grandma, kids, and when they park, they don't want to see piss and crap and what other garbage drivers throw it in the garbage. And that's what was happening for a long time, and I'm sure it still is happening now. Drivers a lot of them became trash. Themselves they became trash with that kind of mentality. They have no respect for other things and other people. So when it comes to weigh stations, a lot of new guys, they get all nervous, and I've seen that happen. You don't need to be nervous anything about weigh stations. It can be intimidating, I totally get it, but as long as you legal with your weight, when you pull into the scale house, just look at the lights. The lights will tell you, like when you go to California, Utah, a lot of those places like Washington, it will say speed limit 3 miles an hour, loaded trucks. So go 3 miles an hour. 3 miles an hour is pretty much idling. You put it in gear, you let go of your brake, you let the truck idle, 3 miles an hour. Have your foot on the brake because they will change the lights. Sometimes they want to test you to see if you're paying attention or to see if the brakes actually work. So when you're going 3 miles an hour, look at the lights, keep looking. And if the light changes from green to red or orange to red, hit the brakes. Don't move. A lot of guys, they get nervous, especially back when trucks used to be all manual. The new guy popped the clutch and the truck starts shaking on the scale, and then they pull him in the back. Well, that's because you let them do it. You gotta be relaxed. Going through the scale house is not any different than going through the border security. You gotta be relaxed. Have your paperwork ready. If you're holding a hazmat, make sure your placards are intact, because sometimes placards will fly out. And what happens with me is I always check my placards when I stop, and I always carry extra placards. So that way, if one or two are missing, you can put them. That way you don't wait until the last minute. So last but not least, CB noise, trash, radio, whatever you want to call it. The CB, it was designed to help one another, but apparently nowadays, people just want to talk whatever the hell they want to talk. So there's a lot of trash. Back in the day when I used to run New Jersey and be on the New Jersey Turnpike, some guys never even been on the East Coast. They get on the radio and they ask for help, which exit, whatever. And then you get guys on the radio, instead of helping them, they started talking garbage. What is the point? The guy needs help. Even though the guy may not have been prepared or not have planned his trip right, I get that part. But you don't need to talk trash. And it gets worse than that. There's a lot of racism and bad words, and it's just garbage, Instead of people helping one another, they want to insult one another. So now I have a radio, but I never use it. I don't talk to anybody unless I'm stuck in an accident scene and it takes freaking forever and you gotta find out which lane you gotta be in, and even that, people talk. Do you want to have a radio? That's up to you. I don't even turn it on. I just have it there because I need it sometimes. Those are the dumb things the truck drivers do. We all have done them. Hopefully the new guys can learn that and prevent that from happening. But maybe this video will help for the guys not to do those things that are getting into it. So I'd say, like, if you like this video, subscribe. If not, I could care less. Okay, well, if you guys like the video, subscribe. If not, I could care less. Just drive safe and get home.